What's up, everybody? It's your boy, the Illegal Seagull, back with another episode of Point and Laugh, the magic show that makes you a better deck builder and a worse person by means of verbal disparagement. First up, we witness Iwamori unleash his domain expansion, his own pants. After that, a theater kid begs you to pay attention to them, but with guns this time. And last but not least, we are reminded why Bracket 4 is a jail and not a family fun center. Thank you all for watching. For everybody who subscribes to this video, I will allow my editor to watch 1 additional minute of Iron Lung. Mango! Stop looking for the remote. First up today, we have a tired veteran who has sent in a silly deck. This one's about the vibes, letting Iwamori do what he wants. Fight the strongest fighter in the room. Who in the f is Iwamori? An incredibly buff man. Oh! Ronnie Coleman, Universes Beyond. All right, catch these hands. We have a 4-mana 5/5 with Trample. When he enters the battlefield, each opponent may put a legendary creature card from his or her hand onto the battlefield. Oh. Okay, no. I got a little bit of heartburn, but we can make this work. No. It couldn't go wrong, Supermassive. Not that many people will have like a legendary queued up in their hand. Turn 3, turn 4. That's fine. 35 lands. We only have a 4-drop. Creatures. None of the rest of this looks like ramp. Did we tag this? Beautiful. 1-2 punch. Okay. First thing I agree with. Oh, 11 pieces of ramp. I paid the morgue to drop his body off at home. That's reanimation, right? This is ramp if the rest of your deck is built badly. Curse of Bounty. Whenever a enchanted player is attacked, untap all non-land permanents you control. Each opponent attacking that player untaps all non-land permanents they control. That, now we're full on lying. Now we are whole telling lies. So we can untap our 1 Bird of Paradise when we swing our commander, or somebody else can untap our Bird of Paradise. Do we have like rocks? Do we have other? Oh, my fault. Yeah. My fault. We friendly mulligan to the Soul Ring. We get the Curse of Bounty, and then we purchase Wayne Enterprises from the Batman. Yeah, what could fucking stop you, child? Oh my god. Whenever this creature deals combat damage to a player, add that much green to your mana pool. Doesn't cause burn. What a sentence. Until end of turn, this doesn't empty from your mana pool as phases end. That's not ramp. That's 9 creatures. We have the 1 creature we need. He's right here. The Utopia Sprawl Curse of Bounty combo. We are stretching that word to its breaking point, my friend. I get to untap 2. Wait, that's not a combo. Wait, you untap. Utopia Sprawl doesn't tap. Like hold on. We about to have a PBS moment. Because Curse of Bounty, you would untap your non-land permanents. That includes Utopia Sprawl. You know untapping Utopia Sprawl doesn't untap the land, right? We gotta hold... Brother, look into my eyes. We know this, right? Seismic, this is a lie. Okay, so our tags are lies. I'm gonna look through the deck understanding that our tags are fucking lies. We have 8 fight spells. That's pretty good. And we have like a 1 more permanent way to fight. Okay, we have an Enchantress thing. We have a go wide payoff in our deck with 9 creatures. We have to attack with 7 creatures to make this happen. Branching Evolution. Okay, if we're doing counters, we get more counters. We do an Enchantment Aura. We have 1 counter, Combat Trick. If counters, more counters. Way to get 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 counters. Okay, this one's dog shit. This is one of our 9 creatures. This is one of our 9 warriors holding the Tide of the Apocalypse, and it is a fucking 1/1. We can't copy this guy because he's legendary. I like Regenerate. I don't mind that. Is he an enchantment creature? He's not. What? I'm so confused. Bob and Weave. Okay, sure. Unblockability, or like you can only block with 1 thing. That's good with Trample. All right. 5 pieces of government mandated removal. All right, no lands, beautiful. 2 lands, fight spells I can't use, Entis Restoration. If I hit a land drop, this is okay. I'll try it. Okay, Weaver of Harmony, the infinite is coming through. We're so fucking cooked. I can make my 2/2 Brawl, which doesn't really do anything. Hell yeah. Oh, Soul Ring type shit. Soul Ring, Entis Restoration. Next turn. Iwamori comes down turn 6, but I have 2 open mana, so if people try to shoot him, I can defend the rider. I could brawl with something if I wanted to. Like, we got stuff to do. So I'll be generous and say, you know, we do the proactive thing. We hit somebody really hard. We got a protection spell. I swing this guy. If somebody blocks me bigly, I would Strength of Will. If they don't block me bigly, I'm Hunter's Inciting. I will presume, for your sake, that we get to draw 5 cards. Oh my God, look who's here. It's the Bird of Paradise. God bless America. All right, we land drop. We've dealt 5 commander damage. I want to stick this to get a card draw engine to try to get us to something that can begin threatening lethal. All right, Hardened Scales. Do I have a way to get this fucking counter on? No, I am more distracted than a child in the cereal aisle. I can lure if I want to, which is not phenomenal to me. Oh, Strength of Will should be in my hand. I think we hold this turn, and then next turn we try to double dip lure and Strength of Will. So we pick the like biggest motherfucker and we try to 1-2 combo this, and that's our path. Holy Jesus, this is downright bizarre. Okay, like I just can't. $181 smells a lot like Built from Collection to me. Like, I need a Les Miserables edit of a printer wandering the streets of Paris calling this deck's name. Baguette slung over the shoulder. Iwamori! Iwamori, where are you, mon ami? You are lost! Come back to me, Iwamori! And it's desperately trying to print out like a single card that's worth $2. So some of this stuff I agree with. Overall, this is scattered as hell, which does make sense for silly. I think if you were to try to bring it in any more of a targeted direction, we seem really split between the 3 different directions of I want to cast combat tricks, I want to stack +1/+1 counters, I want to stack enchantments. Of those 3, enchantments is the most parasitic. And I promise we won't get too in the weeds on this. Enchantments is the most parasitic. That's the one that is the most, if you were going to pick a strategy and only one, enchantments wants to be like king of the hill with a little bit of maybe +1/+1 garnish or a little bit of other stuff happening. I mean, Genji Glove's just funny as fuck. Genji Glove I will defend to my death. Combat trick and 1/1 counters in green has a little bit of overlap, but you're almost always worse off using a combat trick than just having a permanent source of this happening. And what I mean by that is like with the KO, right? We're like, I'm trying to do what Iwamori does best, which is to fight people, but I am not going to use any of the permanent based fight things that would allow me to do it whenever I wanted. The Boulder is going to make sure his strategy relies completely on drawing one of 8 cards in his deck. I do like that we're drawing based on power. This type of draw all makes sense to me. Incredible lie that we have tagged Elixir and Tranquil Thicket card draw. So these, I think you have all picked correctly. There's probably just not enough. And especially if I think about the play pattern of, like, you on a combat trick deck, you're emptying your hand pretty quickly. Because every time somebody tries to remove Iwamori because he's big and scary and buff, you have to go down a card. Versus, you know, maybe there's a more green thing you can do, but this is like one-time investment, half of your removal spells don't work anymore. Hold on. It's a monk thing. You have to play it. You bitch. You can't stop me from getting a good card in this deck. You cannot stop me. Tell me this is not Iwamori before the steroids. This is just pre-Trenbolone Iwamori. So if you want to protect him, if there is a lot of like joy you are deriving from being like tap 1 green, 100%. If you just want to protect Iwamori better, you're probably better off having more permanents that stay on board that just make him harder to deal with. I was thinking Soul's Majesty. Soul's Majesty is probably fine. I mean, these are the types of effects where you want like, 10 of them in the deck. Yeah, you could do this. Genuinely, like any card that says draw cards equal to the power of your biggest creature, is a good ad. A blanket. You could trade, you know, any card in the deck for it, and I believe in it just because card draw is so good. You have so many cards that you want to get out to bulk up Iwamori more. You could add any. I would invest in the Scryfall O-Tagger if you haven't already. So you want like O-Tag Power Matters, O-Tag Burst Draw, and then Commander Green. Literally anything from this section will play well for this deck. All right, I had to be Rage Bait. This had to be Rage Bait. There's love in the deck, but like you can make Rage Bait with love. No, that's Super State Line. That Super State Line was pure fucking Rage Bait. I like it. I think it's very cute. There's, I know we've had a lot of chat suggestions. Green big guy hits you has so many things you can do. I hope that some of the suggestions we have given you did spark joy, and I hope you laughed or at least exhaled heavily through your nose. Thank you very much for submitting. None of these videos would be possible without support from our patrons, so I'd like to issue a very special thank you to our highest tier patrons, Mr. Caldarius, Katya M, Solar Movie, Fun, Phelan, Bobby Joe Lord, and Calamity. Thank you all very much. Let's get back to the video. All right, Murky has sent in a silly, spooky deck. I am a warmonger. I want my opponents to kill each other while I devilishly grin like a madman. I also... Murky, in the section, would you like suggestions for improvement, marked every option. So Murky would like, I would like every improvement you can think of. I would like thematic or flashy cards that would be fun, but I don't want suggestions on card draw. I also do not want any suggestions at all. I merely want reactions to what I did pick. The theater! That's too many fucking words. We've got Baeloth Barrityl, show me! Not raised by giants. All right, so we have Boros Goad, which is, I think, the perfect commander deck for anybody that did want to play D&D instead, but got outvoted. So we're goading things that are lower power than Baeloth. When goaded creatures die, you make a treasure, so we get a little bit of ramp, but he's 5 mana. Then we have a 2 mana enchantment that says, when this creature enters the battlefield at the beginning of your upkeep, everybody may put 2 1/1s on a creature they control. For each opponent who does, you gain protection from them. I love the soft non-bow. I love that. That's perfect for a theater kid. That's very Greek tragedy of you, and I see it. I see it and I respect the game. We should always be the mechanism of our own demise. So we're gonna let our opponents pick a creature to not get goaded. We get protection from it. Hopefully everything else gets goaded. And after about 2 to 3 turns, yeah, we'll goad everything that hasn't been getting Nobly Heritage. I can see that. We're goading in Boros, but we're not playing Nelly. Super massive gaming, banned for getting ahead of the bid. It's right there in runtime, you blind son of a bitch. Die. We can't yell about Act 3 in the middle of the prologue. Let's see what we actually have in here. I do have deep questions about not being on Raised by Giants. I do have deep questions about that. All right, runtime. This looks like card draw. Yes. Card selection. I like desperate. Collusion. Oh, even more draw. Fuck ass. All right, so we're doing mini Pramicon bullshit, or we can just give ourselves collusive card draw. This could work. I could see this. Escalation. All right, so we buff everybody else's stuff, but they can't get us. And then presumably we get to the 1v1 and we're just like, I'm so glad you enjoyed the show. Ah! Yeah, I want them to have creatures in hand to play. I agree with that. I think collusive card draw does work well here. Show must go on. So we have flash. I can flash in racism, and I am no longer affected by a given color. I can flash in flying and hexproof. I can flash in hexproof and indestructible until end of turn, but +2/+0 and flying. This is pretty expensive as well. Giver of Runes, I like this one. Giver and Mother, 2 pieces of the Royal Triumvirate. Okay, Guardian of Faith, Lawrence Escape. These are, okay. These are relatively responsible. The stage, I see 40 lands down here. We have 36 here. The MacGuffin Coded Jewel. That's pretty good. Am I missing a third? Yes, you're missing the sacrificial dog. Mother, giver, and childhood pet. Those are the 3. That's the holy trinity of a white deck trying to not get murdered. No, too late. No dog shall be murdered at the theater. Oh, actually truing. The mother, the giver, and the holy robo ant. This one is actually the ticket if you don't want to have to kill a dog, yeah. Skrelv is the actual third of this triumvirate. Holy robot ant. All right, plot twists. Hot Pursuit. You could have just tagged this the only possible way I will ever win a 1v1. Beginning of combat. Yeah. So you steal all the goaded and suspected stuff. I love Insurrection. Fan favorites. Crescendo of War. Ooh, yes. Oh, yes. So this is, okay, so fan service tutors these. Oh, I love a good crescendo. Oh, you're winning me over. Oh, your lack of willingness to murder dogs notwithstanding, you are winning me over. Each upkeep, we say. And notably, it is one of the only global banners that will not interfere with Baeloth, because it only buffs them after they have swung, and so they are still goaded up until the moment they swing. It is so beautiful for a deck like this. No roast, just glaze. This is actually perfect for what Baeloth wants to be doing. All right, you greedy bitch. Okay. Default, back to target for the default Boros ads. Beautiful. The Hand of the Author. I love these tags. Okay, so we have removal, and then we have goad that doesn't come from our commander. I hate that you keep playing Planeswalkers. I'm not saying they're wrong. I just hate that you play them. This looks kind of sick. This looks really, really good for what it wants to do. Where's the Solitaire style monologue? I mean, I think what we need is these tags give me faith. Murky, I just need a yes or no in chat. Can you do voices? That's the missing link of this deck. Yes. Let's go to the playtest. All right, I get some lands. I have protection. I have land tax and a bounce land. God is with us. I can feel the presence of Jesus in this Moxfield playtester tonight. So I play a bounce land, or I would play my planes, whatever. I play the land that can come in untapped. Next turn, I don't trigger land tax. Bam, bam, discard. Oh my God, Forbidden Orchard is in here. Yeah! So we keep that. We can discard a planes because we're gonna get a bunch more basics. So now every turn it's just like land, land, land. I go Knight of the White Orchid. I don't think I want to, no, I don't. Oh, no discard. Right, I had played a spell. Thank you for catching that, Dafty Duck. I don't think we want a Knight of the White Orchid because I think we want to keep having fewer land. Like, we don't want to catch up. I would rather just eliminate all of our dead draws forever. All right, so if somebody has played a crazy Voltron commander, we do that. If they haven't played a crazy Voltron commander, we get this out of the way now. Proxied Plateau, we almost definitely get to land tax again. I think some of these have to get discarded though. So these are the 3 we tutored, and then we drew a card and we were on 7. Okay. We play this. So these look like the Dark Times because we don't really have a way to get to Baeloth that quickly. Maybe we would have Knight of the White Orchided last turn, and then we would have not gotten the land tax this turn so that we could Baeloth turn 4. I worry about playing Baeloth with no open mana though. This feels like the stickiest part of the deck. I still love it. But it does feel like we get ourselves into a bit of a situation where we can't wait too long to play Baeloth, because otherwise everybody's threats just get out of control before we can goad them. But our ramp doesn't really help us. Our ramp doesn't really help us get him out quickly. And if we were gonna play him, we want to play him with like the 2 white to save him. The Lathril player is gonna look at us and be like, hell fucking no. So I worry a little bit about the play pattern right here, but I think all of the individual cards are still great. We may or may not be triggering land tax at this point. Now we reveal Forbidden Orchard and we give somebody an immediately goaded thing. If we got to our upkeep, he's up to a 6/9 already. All right, so we throw a goad on something, right? On one of the big creatures that isn't under Baeloth's power. Then we wait. Oh God! Another land! No! Moxfield does not want to see you win. I mean, like 8 power, even if we have noble heritage, like either people are taking this and they don't get to fuck with us, or they're just beating each other to death. So maybe we're getting to a situation where we could hot pursuit, but like this is rough. God, I don't think we can fix you, but I can make you worse. But if we want card draw, then we need the Colluder 5000. We need this guy. That's pretty decent huggery, actually. I don't mind that. If we are okay with our opponents drawing cards, this is for sure gonna draw us some cards, and I think our goad outpaces the gain 2 life. That's pretty hot. Yeah, ramp. And if we play this on 3, like if we play this on 3 and then we don't play any cards, we get three colorless mana, and then we can stick Baeloth and hold up a white for a protection spell. If we hit a land drop, we can hold up 1 and a white for one of our more expensive protection spells too. I like that a lot. Yeah, this is crazy good. I keep forgetting because I can't predict your treasure generation really well, but any treasure is an impulse draw. That's a little bit evil. That's a little bit crazy stuff. That's a crazy straw for this fine little Long Island iced tea you're brewing here. This one's so funny. This is my mono red Sphinx Ambassador. I put this card into so many decks it does not deserve to be in. I cannot recommend it wholeheartedly, but please fucking play this. Please, oh my god. And in Act 3, dragons attack the stage! Alright, that is gonna be the end of my recommendations. Genuinely, this deck is peak. This is fucking awesome. I think there is fiddling that can be done to individual taste. All you really need is a little bit of better card draw. The gimmick you have chosen, you have executed beautifully, and I think it is a very, very good gimmick for Bracket 2 gameplay. This is a scary deck. It is okay for it to have combos. It is okay for it to have game changers. It is okay for it to even go infinite. Barney commits tax fraud. It is bracket 4, does have combos, wins with turn reversal or fork bomb combos. Notably, my current variants are a little different from what I originally submitted to the database. The database? I take it back. I take it back. Fuck you. Scary? If you sit down at a Commander game and you tell me, yeah, this deck's a little bit different than the database, I'm putting you in the fucking morgue. What? Because what database? There is a database of like combos that you can look up on Commander Spellbook. Like for every commander, there's a list of, here are all of these infinites that you can do for the commander. And this motherfucker said, I submitted these to the database, but I lied. I lied to you. I had to register this deck with the government. But don't worry, I didn't tell those motherfuckers anything. Let's play. God damn it. Okay, what do we have in here? All right, Kalamax the Stormsire. When you cast your first instant, if Kalamax is tapped, copy it. When you copy an instant, put a counter on him. Tee, I filed these silly little numbers off my assault rifle. Finite amount of fun in any game of Magic. Okay, here's the bracket 4 interaction package. Never mind. Bracket 4, but one guy in my pod plays a fucking rat deck. Oh, I get to see their hand. Never mind. That's very clever. You are an evil genius. Delay is probably good here. Delay goes from being a terrible, no good, shitty spell in bracket 2 to actually being a house in bracket 4, because most of the time you just have to offset the win attempt by like 1 or 2 turns. And I want to have all of it. Okay, we have some extra turns. Only this one's instant. Doesn't hit creatures, boss? What do you mean? Oh, that's fine. If we're in bracket 4, we don't need to hit creatures, or we don't need everything to hit creatures. I think one or two spells only hitting instants or sorceries. Like bracket 4, somebody is casting an instant or sorcery, and realistically, that's who we have to counterspell, because we have to see how much counter magic they have before we go for our win attempt. 4 copies of Gifts Ungiven. Gifts pile. You are a fucking child. These combos are different than what I submitted to the database because I've sent in dog shit. I have edited this well-tuned Kalamax combo deck into one of those carnival punch machines. God damn it. Yeah. Between like Vengeance and Twincast, we copy. With Forks, the punch kills all 3. Oh, so do we get infinite power and infinite targets as well? Oh, you get 3 copies exactly. Okay. So he's tapped. We get 2 copies of Twincast. 1 copy hits the other copy until he's at like infinity big. And I can cast punch from bin because gifts. So you get 2 to hand, rest into grave. So if I bend both of your forks, this getting copied twice from grave. Okay, so I can't let you bin vengeance, because if I let you bin vengeance, God, this is breaking my brain. This is fucking hilarious. I don't think this works. You can only get infinite power. No, I'm pretty sure it does, because you can copy the fork over and over, and then eventually direct the final copies of the fork to Gravitic Punch. Graveyard Scholar scholarships. If it's not your turn, you may exile a green card from your hand rather than pay the spell's mana cost. All right, we shoot somebody's Rhystic Study. That makes sense. That makes sense. Okay, bunch of instants we can copy with Kalamax. 35 lands, which is actually kind of high for bracket 4. Legitimate business activity. Holy shit. This... Now this feels like you're tricking people. Because that seems very CEDH, but it's like turn 5 and above is CEDH. Turns 1 through 3 is like, oh yeah, Birds of Paradise. What else do we have in here? Tax fraud. Oh, there it is. There's the Rhystic Study. All right, so we have instants. So these get good when we have our commander because we're getting 2 of them. We have Remora, which is normal. What in the fuck? What in the fuck is that Narset copy? Where did you find this? Did we get this from like a flea market in the middle of Syria? I like blue old border. And then we also had, goddamn, blue old border combined with the fucking Aether Drift Gamer Box big score. That's heinous. I'll never get over how much bracket 4 decks are always like CEDH except for the one specific bullshit deck that my pod loves, because Fire Magic screams to me like CEDH minus token Jonathan. Steven and his fuck-ass Lathril deck have to go. The 3 mana board wipe, so true. A sweeper for 4 does kill most creatures. It's just funny to think about. That's cute. We have Swan Song. Somebody will have a fucking island. I think we can keep this. We have a tutor, we have Carpet of Flowers, we have a counter spell, and we have removal. So we Carpet of Flowers. Our next turn, somebody will have an island. We Surveil 1. I don't think we need any more lands at this point. Yeah, we Talisman of Creativity with the floating mana. We can hold up Swan Song if somebody tries to win. We float 2 mana. Pay for that. We have a protection spell. Otherwise, on someone else's turn... Oh, no, this is sorcery, so we would have to make the decision earlier. We probably stick Kalamax and wait if we are trying to bully the first win attempt and not be the first win attempt. Maybe we're still floating 2 open mana. We use the 2 mana to Merchant Scroll. I don't think I have the mana to Gifts and go for the combo this turn. Yeah, so we wait. If somebody does something, we get them. If somebody doesn't do something, we Gifts on their turn, and then we try to win on our turn. This is definitely a load-bearing Swan Song protecting us, for sure. Yeah, Windfall draws 4 cards and makes 4 treasures. Like, Windfall would be good if Gifts Ungiven weren't here, but I feel like if Gifts Ungiven or a path to Gifts Ungiven isn't there, we're probably just angling to Gifts Ungiven and then try to win. I'm just thinking about you as a person now. But this is the spirit of your deck. Is Kalamax going to town on a fucking bonk device and then you staring lovingly at an extra turn spell that probably shouldn't be there? Is there anything to be done to improve this? Because we could quibble all day, but I think a lot of this deck is carried by the nature of I am always trying to go off second. And I think that's a very smart thing to do in bracket 4. I think the thing that is holding it back the most is the nature of the bracket, because you have to plan not only for the other combo players, you also have to plan for the go wide players, because bracket 4 still has people trying to win via combat. And so you have to play fucking Reality Shift and Resculpt, Chaos Warp, which is just a little bit inefficient, right? And if we went all the way into CEDH, we probably wouldn't have to run these, but then we would lose to the turn 0 win attempts. Also, everyone say hi to my girlfriend. God, I fucking hate seeing Bugenhagen here. I hate seeing Bugenhagen in a high power deck. I know he's right for it probably, but he makes me so fucking mad. Flowers is great. Talismans are great. These tap things are good. Is there any other stuff we would want to do? Any other stuff we would give a shit about? Oh, I love Impulse here. I can't lie to you and tell you to run stock up, because then I would have to rely on your cope argument about fork loops again. Yeah, let's look at finite amount of fun. Stubborn denials, that's more copium. That's tremendously funny. And this may be me deeply misrepresenting your game plan. I think that puts Stubborn Denial into, I can only use this as win protection rather than using it to stop somebody else's win attempt. That's the only thing that's sticking out in my mind. But maybe the combos you are playing against are tight enough that quenching them for 1, mana tithing them, does work. And like protecting a win attempt is good. Force of Will, right, is I usually need to draw a counter spell for a turn or 2 with Kalamax out before going for the win. Then I think it's fine. That is true about no Flusterstorm. That may just be that they don't have stack battles as much. Is that accurate, Sauron? Because I think if you had some drawn out stack battles, Flusterstorm seems like one of the best cards you could possibly have. Because you either win an early stack battle or you make Kalamax big and huge. It's probably right to have it in. That's all you needed to say. That's all you needed to say. It's probably right to have it in. However, not an extra turn spell. I believe in you. It is probably better than delay, actually. Like Test of Talents, I can see the value of... No, Time Kit. You're actually wrong as hell there. Because the thing is, at a bracket 4 table, this is going to be the makeup. In one seat, we have Kalamax. In another seat, we have a Voltron player, the Voltron, Volt. They are high as at any bracket 4 table. We're gonna have a lightning army of 1 player who is blasted into the fucking universe. In another seat, we're gonna have a mono blue player. They have all run screaming from CEDH now that they can't keep up anymore. So we're gonna have 1 player who is mono blue and is holding all the counter spells. And then we're gonna have 1 more person who's on tokens. This is every bracket 4 pod that has ever existed. And so Test of Talents is exclusively for us to counterspell this guy's win attempt while also learning how many counter spells they have in hand. We don't care about doing it to these guys. We don't care about doing it to these guys. We could get probe to see their hand, but it's probably gonna be relevant to counter an instant or sorcery spell early on. Like, it's worth it to have this. I think it is a very good meta call for the environment that this Kalamax deck is likely finding itself in. So Sauron, I will defend this for you, but you could probably put Flusterstorm in over delay and enjoy what you're doing a bit more. I am surprised at no Breach and Brain Freeze. I think that's one of the main differences between this and like a true CEDH deck. Like, instead of going for a Breach Brain Freeze line, they are board wiping the Myro player. Instead of going for Breach Brain Freeze, they are forking Time Warp and taking 3 turns in your face with an infinite power Like, instead of Brain Freeze Breach, they're like, all right, Kalamax is infinitely big, I'm killing you with commander damage. That's heart. You may not like it. That's Mighty Duck shit right there. I'm gonna do 1,000,000 push-ups and take 3 turns in which I kill your Timna, then I kill you, then I kill Greg, and then it's a 1v1 between Godzilla and Tim, the Voltron player who has not yet resolved their commander. That's beautiful. I think I've talked myself into liking the deck, so I'm putting you up higher than I would have. I've gaslit myself into enjoying the extra turn spells you have in here. So Sauron, good job. I like this. I think this is what an archetypal, what a bracket 4 deck should be. It's very good, and you have made some very deliberate decisions to make it not as good as it could be in favor of the things you like more. I respect that. I hate you personally. You ever show me this deck in person, I'm showing you my collection of lighters, but thank you for submitting. I hope you enjoyed.